morning. Good morning. I should remind people on the Discord server that we are live. Good morning. I'm really well. Really well. It's just always such a pleasure to be able to do this practice with you. Please do light an incense. Please do. So we can start with some vocal warm-ups. I'd love it if you participated along with me. Good morning, Candy. Thank you, Crystal. Good morning, Skylar. So let's make some tones. I like tones. Alright. I'm going to take a deep breath in and then exhale with a clear, low tone. This is my job. Did you know? This is my job. And I'm very lucky that this is my job. Let's go a little bit higher now. Take a deep breath in and see how long you can hold a note slightly higher, and notice differences that might arise in your vocal tract that make it easier or harder to sustain the note at this length. Ready? Inhale. It's much quieter, a little bit shorter, but pure. And we can go a little bit higher. Can go a little bit higher. So this is community-supported meditation. That is what we're doing here today. That is how it is my job. Because you all want to be here, and I want to be here. And so by setting the collective intention to be here together, we can generate value, right? And that is why this is my job. Community-supported mantra repetition. Yes, I am trans. If you're very curious to know what little symbols I put in front of my name, I will use these in these proportions. This is the proportions that people in my audience think. I don't actually use these in these proportions. I just use these ones. But this is what you think I use, and, so I think that's maybe a more interesting question than what I use, because I don't use them very often. People use them for me far more often than I use them for myself. So, everyone is always curious. Everyone is always curious. So today we're going to say some prayers. We're going to say some prayers. You never noticed I was trans. I've been getting that comment a lot. It's an interesting comment to get. Hello from Auckland. Still beautiful anyway. Be careful. Be careful there. Okay. I can't believe in God? Well, I don't really like believing in things, so... Alright, let's say a prayer about God. And then we can wonder about what it means to believe in such a thing. So I wouldn't say I believe in it, I just say it. Okay. Ready? Shema Yisrael Asher Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Shema Yisrael Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. What does it mean? Some of you have heard me say these words dozens of times. What do they mean? What do they mean? They don't mean what is its pronouns. No, they do not. Sounded beautiful. Yes, it's Hebrew. It's Hebrew. What do these words mean? No one knows. Some of you know. Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Listen, Israel. Yahweh Eloheinu, Asherah, Echad are one. All these gods are one. That's what it means. That's what it means. These gods are one. Yes, I'm Jewish. Yes, that is Hebrew. Like a serpent that eats its tail, all the gods are one. Ve'ahavta et anat Elohecha ובכל לבבך, ובכל נפשך, ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה, אשר אנוכי מצווך, היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך, ולכתך בדרך, ובשכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. I chopped my serpent off. I chopped my serpent off. This one, I mean, it's consuming itself, so there is something like that, isn't there? Removing part of the body to become a full body. Interesting idea. Very interesting idea. Can I pray for your friend? His name is Don Kayak. He's sick with COVID. Yes. Yes, we can. We absolutely can. There's a prayer that we say at the end, a prayer of mourning, and we will repeat his name then. Interesting indeed. Someone's listening. Someone is listening. So, what do the words that I just said mean? Ve'ahavta et Yahweh Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha. It goes inside during the surgery. Depends on which surgery you're getting. You do realize that there are ways to talk about genital surgeries that are polite, and ways to talk about genital surgeries that are deeply impolite, and y'all are toting a line, my friends. Y'all are toting a line. Towing a line? Why do they all call me an addict? Perhaps I am. Perhaps I am. ואהבת את יהוה אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. v'chayu hadvarim ha'ela asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'vitecha uv'lechlecha v'derech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha uchtartam la'ot al yadecha v'chayu letotafot beinenecha uchtavtam ha'al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha. So what do those words mean? They mean copy me. They mean the serpent that eats its tail, or the serpent that eats its tail is a way of thinking about these words, right? It's not just a symbol for genital mutilation, although it certainly is that. It is also a symbol for the way that we contain ourselves, right? That the fullness of ourselves is only a part of who we are, in a paradoxical way. It means repeat me. The prayer means repeat me. Bind these words as a symbol upon your hand, and let them serve as a sign on your eyes. Attach them to the doorposts of your houses and on your gates. I am. You can ask, and the answer you will get is yes. Yes, I am. I'm so glad you like my voice. My hand, the serpent that eats itself, is my hand. Yes. Right here. V'chaya. Ki v'chayu Elohecha el ha'aretz asher nisbai lavotecha le'avram li'yitzchak u'Yaakov. Letet lach avrim gedolot v'tavot asher lo vanita uvatim mile'im kol tuva asher lo milata uvurot atzuvim asher lo hasatva ge'arim vizitim asher lo natata ve'alachta v'shavata hishameh lecha pen tishchach et Yahweh asher tishacha v'eretz Mitzrayim mibet avadim. The house of bondage. If you said a prayer and said it wrong, would it be useless? Well, absolutely not. What does it mean to say a prayer wrong? Anyway, I say prayer wrong all the time. I don't speak Sanskrit. I don't speak Hebrew. My accent is thoroughly American. And yet I still say the words, and they still have their importance, even if how I understand their meaning to be is very different from how other people before me would have understood the meaning of those prayers to me. I don't think it's possible to say a prayer wrong, because the point of the prayer is the act of saying. If you'd like to mod for me, join my Discord server, and we can have a conversation about what the server needs, and what kind of community participation is required to get it there. I would love to have more mods on this stream. My mod team is really great, but we are always short-staffed, so if you'd like to mod for me, please join my Discord server. Alright. This is your safe space. I'm so glad to hear it. Why is this place safe for you? A prayer and affirmation of strength would be so appreciated right now. A prayer or affirmation of strength. Sure, we can do that. I make you feel so calm. I'm glad that you like this morning routine. 2 days clean. That's great. Can I ask how I deal with such negative energy coming at me? Well, I don't. I mean, I do. Like, I largely ignore it, but I also have an incredible team of moderators that make me feel supported. and like, I don't have to face the hostility of the world alone. That's how I deal with such negative comments. I ignore them with the help of my friends. Yes, the Ouroboros is a real tattoo. Sending energy and love. Yes, it is Hebrew. Oh gosh, so many comments. Yes, don't worry if you mispronounce anything. Are these prayers? Yes, they are prayers, and I need to get back to praying very soon. I just want to get to the bottom of the comments. Right. Okay. I do feel supported. I feel so supported by everyone here. Hello from Australia. You find it very hard to pray or meditate. Any tips? I find that doing it in a group really helps. I find that it really helps, right? The fact that I have a sense of obligation to come on here every day and pray with you all is an incredible touchstone, right? It's a remarkable touchstone. Yeah, it's pretty special. I came upon a wedding that old families had contrived, with Bethlehem the bridegroom and Babylon the bride. Oh, great Babylon was trembling, and she stood there naked with me. And Bethlehem inflamed us both like the shy one at some orgy. And when we fell together, all our flesh was like a veil. We had to draw aside to see the serpent eat its tail. Oh, some women wait for Jesus, and some we wait for Cain. And I'll hang upon this altar, and I'll hoist my axe again, and I'll take the one who finds me back to where it all began, back when Jesus was the honeymoon, and Cain was just a man. And we'll read from pleasant Bibles that are bound in blood and skin, that Asherah is gathering all her children back again. What is going on indeed? What's going on here? Well, someone answer that question. It's a very honest and important question. Morning prayers. Morning prayers. What does that prayer mean that we have just said, right? Some might not call it a prayer because it's kind of scary. It was asked for a prayer or an affirmation of strength. Is that prayer an affirmation of strength? I think so, right? For me, that prayer is a reminder that even out of a terrible destruction, prayer for strength, yeah, even out of a terrible destruction, like the destruction of the city of Jerusalem by the Babylonian Empire 2,500 years ago, even in the face of that, we can imagine it as a wedding, right? That the end can be the beginning. And that this is true, I find very comforting. The end can be the beginning, and even in intense suffering, there is God. What do you all think of that prayer? Maybe nothing. Maybe none of you are listening, and I am simply praying to an image of myself. Now, wouldn't that be frightening? I'm glad you think it's beautiful. Baruch atah Yahweh, Eloheinu melech haolam, Elo Ashani Isha. I repeat the name of Yahweh Eloheinu, who did not make me a woman. I did. What was the name of that prayer? That song was a song by Leonard Cohen called Last Year's Man. And I've selected the 2 verses that pertain to the destruction of Babylon. Baruch atah Asherah, Anat Malecha Ha'olam, Asher Yitzar et Ha'adam, V'chachama Uvara V'or. I repeat the name of Asherah Anat, who made me with many openings and cavities. The song was Last Year's Man by Leonard Cohen. And Cain was just the man. Oh. How are you all doing today? It's a gift to be here with you all this morning. Hello. Hello, hello. Hey, kitty cat. Hey, kitty cat. How are you doing? Good morning. You're weirded out. Well, why are you weirded out? How do Jews view Jesus? Well, I can't tell you how Jews view Jesus. I can tell you how I view Jesus, which is that I think that Jesus is Baal. Jesus is Osiris. Jesus is the dead and resurrected god of the Eastern Mediterranean, in charge of the fields and the rains. Yes, I am Jewish. You need to wear your glasses all the time and you feel ugly in them. How do you get used to it? How do you get used to an image of yourself that you do not wish to see? I don't know. I wish I knew. I mean, I know some things. I know that I have a male pattern here. Look at that nice triangle. I have a male pattern here, and whenever I see it, I don't like the way I look. Makes me feel bad, unprofessional, unwomanly, right? Perhaps this is something that I can change, perhaps it is not, right? I could get an expensive surgery to put hair here. Maybe I will, if I have enough money one day, right? But it's invasive, right? And the cost of the surgery is not simply the dollars, it's also the imposition onto my body, right? And a certain loss of bodily autonomy in order to change the body. And I imagine it's the same with your glasses, right? You could get contacts. There might be surgeries that you could pursue so that you would not have to wear glasses. Those would be expensive and invasive, and they may not be worth it. And so we're left with the bodies that we have. And if it's important enough, we can change them. If we're able enough, we can change them. But sometimes we're unable. Sometimes it is not important enough. We live with what we have. And it's probably good enough. Kajananam Bhutanganati Sevitam Kapita Jambupala Sarabakshitam Umasutam Sakabinasakarnam Mahamatim Tivya Mayuravahanam Ridasyasinam Sarasananatam Guham Sadanam Saranam Prapadye Yaku Henduti Saradvala Yasupravasvarita Yavinavarananda Mandidakara Yasvita Padmasana Yabramachuta Sankara Pratrabi Devasata Pujita Samampatu Saraswati Bhagavati Nirhesadyadhyapa Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nisparanchaya Santaya Shishivanandaya Te Namaha Shri Vishnudevanandaya Te Namaha Om Sarva Mangla Manglaye Shive Savarta Sadike Saranye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Om Oh, 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 How can you say with the body you have when I've totally... How can you say live with the body you have when I've totally rejected my own? Well, I wouldn't say I've rejected my body. We are left with the bodies we have because I've completely changed mine. So, there's a meme that might be appropriate here, that it is wise to accept the things we cannot change, and change the things we cannot accept, and have the wisdom to know the difference. So yes, I completely changed my body. I made sacrifices because there were certain things that I was not able to accept about myself. And in so doing, there were other things that I was able to accept about myself, right? Accept the things we cannot change the things we cannot accept. So, for any part of our body, right, we have this choice to make, and it's a difficult choice to make. Do we change, or do we accept what is, right? And there's no right answer. There's never a right answer. But we learn to be who we are, by both changing and by being. Trayambakam yajamaye sugantim pushtivardanam Orva rukami bhavandanan mrityar mukshiyamamritatom Trayambakam yajamaye sugantim pushtivardanam Orva rukami bhavandanan mrityar Mukshiyamamritatom Sarvesham Svastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashantu Makashid Dukhabhag Bhave Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Mritam Gamaya Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishate Om Shanti 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 Om Peace Peace Peace. That isn't a meme, it's a prayer from the Bible. And do you know what the Bible is? What is the Bible but a meme? The Bible is just a very large meme. Yes, I called it a meme. It's also a prayer. What's the difference? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what the difference is. There's another question. Do I think the things happening around the world right now is a sign of Jesus returning? No, I don't. Not even a little bit. I think the myth of Jesus returning is Jesus' own return, right? Like a serpent that eats its tail. Jesus is already here. That's the point, right? The myth of Jesus returning is the myth that Israel will become independent one day. And hey, look, Israel's independent. And yet we still live in chaos and there is still occupation and war. So I don't necessarily want to foretell the return of Jesus. Not necessarily. So, screaming at the back, I love you. Screaming at the back, I love you. There's always chaos. Yes, there always is. What is this shift of energy? That's interesting. Well, I pay attention to what's happening in the chat. The chat shift. I shift. Half of the people in the room left, which is interesting. I'm in this, when I'm sitting here, right, when I'm praying with you all, I'm trying to communicate with something that is not any of you. I'm trying to communicate with all of you all at once, and it's hard for me to know who is listening to, or what little gesture or facial expression I need to make in order to hold your attention. It's rather nerve-wracking. And sometimes I don't pay attention, and sometimes I do, and sometimes I read the comments, and sometimes I don't. You're confused. I'm confused too. Yeah. Right, the TikTok algorithm puts the video in front of you, and you stay or you leave. Now, why might someone stay or leave? What does this mean? What are we doing? What are we doing? You tell me. Will you tell me what we're doing? Do I believe in a God? Well, there's this prayer that I want to say with you now. It's a prayer by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. It's called I Don't Want to Pray. And it's about how I don't believe in God, actually. Advice on beginning to pray. Yes, think of prayer not as an activity for something, but an activity of something. Does that make any sense at all? Praying is a way of being, right? It's a way of aligning yourself with yourself. It's a way of aligning yourself with the rest of the world. So it doesn't matter what you say, it matters how you say it and who you say it with. So, as we say these words together, you let me know what they mean to you. What they make you feel. Pay attention to that. What do you feel in your body? What do you feel in your body? What do you feel in your body? Oh, I don't want to pray to my maker, no. I just want to be feeling free. Not just who I am, but the pink and golden land and that wide, wild sky over me. Help me to the sun. Hey, I'm looking everywhere. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer. And I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray. We don't want to pray. pray. And it's not much good to talk, better to walk it. Woo, not much good to take, better to give. We are done, forgiven, and forgotten of our sins. And I promise you, my friends, all that dies will live again. So, pardon, God and Mom. What I'm saying isn't fair. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer. And I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray. We don't want to pray. Pray. I love Allah, Allah made love. And Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. Asher, Asher, made good. And Anat made bad. Elohim made love. And Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. I love Allah. God made, God made, God made. But I don't want to pray to my Maker. I just want to be what I see. Not like in a book, or the leaves of trees that shook from a word that means only not a thing. No, no. Pardon, God and Mom, what I'm saying isn't fair. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer, and I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray. We don't want to pray. Pray. I love Allah, Allah made love. And Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. Asher, Asher made good. And Anat made bad. Elohim made love. And Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. I love Allah. God made, God made, God made me. Except that's a lie. You know that, right? None of those gods exist. And actually, we are the ones making each other right now. That's how this works. There's so much power in being the message instead of the mouth. Yes, that is an excellent way to put it. The message instead of the mouth. What does it mean to be a prayer? Do we want to pray or not? The answer, yes, both. If you haven't noticed already, I am resistant to categories. I think that categories are violent, right? To take reality and rip it in two. And to say that what we ought to do is pray or not pray. To say that God exists or does not exist. To say that I am a boy or a girl. It's violent. And so I prefer not to be a mouth, but a message, right? Turn myself into light. Look at this recording of me. It's going into your eyes, going into your mind, right? I'm no longer just my physical body, and instead I am light. I am a prayer. Sometimes I do. I've been caught up in this dilemma of believing everything, but maybe it's just all true. All things are true. All things are false. Hold on, I have to respond to something. Reality equals violence. Yeah. Reality does equal violence, right? Violence is part of the world we live in. It's embedded in our experience of being human, right? It has shaped us. It shaped our society. It makes us who we are. So we ought to understand it. I'm glad you like my voice. I'm glad you like my voice. Accepting violence is accepting like? Is that the end of that sentence? Is accepting life? Yes. I believe so. Accepting violence is accepting life. I don't think you can have life without violence. I also don't think you can have violence without life. It goes both ways. So, Where are we in our prayer for today? Where are we? Well, we're 35 minutes in. How are you all doing? I'm going to say a couple more prayers this morning. And then after we say them, we will shift onto the Discord server and we'll have breakfast over there. Probably not violence, but killing, death, yes. And what is the difference between violence and killing death? What is the difference between the two? What is normal to the spider is chaos to the fly. Yes. Yes, what is normal to the spider is literally to become chaos, to have its form turn into an unpatterned mess of energy. You have such a soothing way about you. Thank you. Well, thank you for being here. If you don't know violence, you can't understand peace. I like these aphorisms very much. I like the way y'all think. Life can also be pain. Came back from almost dying. Yes. Yes, indeed. What is normal to the fly is chaos to the fly. Maybe, but I do think that a fly sees the world in some kind of structure that I can never understand, but is not, strictly speaking, chaos. To know violence is to understand peace. So, we're going to say a prayer called Arati. And the word Arati means flame in Sanskrit, or light. And then we're going to say a prayer called Kaddish. And the word Kaddish means holy in Hebrew. Holy light. Light, holy. Holy fire. And with these words, we will repeat the names of many gods. And through the repetition of those many names, we can come to understand what lies underneath them all. Your favorite thing about life is bringing more lives into the world. Yes, Mama Lisa. Yes, that is one of the best things about being alive, is that we have the ability to do this. It is perhaps the most incredible ability that life has given us. Yeah, we are life. That is what we do. I'm talking shit with you right now. I am in Australia. I'm in your hand. Isn't that great? Jaya Jayarati Vina Vinayaka Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jaya Jayarati Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jaya Jayarati Venugopala Venugopala Venuola Papa Vidura Navanita Chora Jaya Jayarati Venkantaramana Venkantaramana Sankatarana Sitarama Radhe Shama Jaya Jayarati Gauri Manohara Gauri Manohara Bhavani Sankara Samba Sadashiva Uma Maheshwara Jaya Jayarati Raja Rajeshwari Raja Rajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Mahashakti Jaya Jayarati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumanta Jaya Jayarati Dattatreya Dattatreya Trimutri Avatara Jaya Jayarati Adityaya Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jayarati Sanistaraya Sanistaraya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jayarati Sankaracaya Sankaracaya Advaita Gurave Jaya Jayarati Sadgurunata Sadgurunata Shivananda Jaya Jayarati Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Jaya Jayarati Agastya Munaye Agastya Munaye Shriyama Priyaye Jaya Jayarati Ayapa Samine Ayapa Samine Dharma Shastave Jaya Jayarati Jesus Gurave Moses Gurave Buddha Gurave and Jaya Jayarati Muhammad Gurave Guru Nanak Gurave Samastya Gurubho Namaha Jaya Jayarati Venugopala. natatra suyobati natandrakartam nema vidyobati kutoya magni tvameva bantam navanti sarvam tasya basya samidam vivanti om gange kayamune kaiva govari saraswati narmade siddhi kaveri Samastitam namo namaha. What do you think my pronouns are? Neither the sun shines there, nor the moon, the stars, nor lightning. So from where does its light come? When that shines, all else shines after that. By its light, everything else is lit. Om, peace, peace, peace. Welcome. I mean, just about the only thing that has violence, it's a necessary part of life, is a lion. Just about the only thing that has violence as a necessary part of a life is a lion. And what about all of the other predators that live in the world, right? What about ticks? What about nation states? And that's only because we took over the world. We did take over the world. We took over the world violently. Thank you, Miguela. Thank you. Snatched eyeliner. That's an interesting phrase. You had to break up with your girlfriend today. I'm sorry. Am I male or female? Yes, I am. Tvameva mata, chapita tvameva, tvameva bandisha saka tvameva, tvameva vidya, travinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva, kayena vacha manasendriyarva, buddhyatmanava prakriti sabhavad, karamyat yad mangalam parasmahe, narayana iti sarmarpayami. Sarvadharmam pravichaya mamikam savarnam vraja aham sva sarvapapayo mokshayami masucha. Whatever actions I perform with my body, speech, mind, senses, my nature, my intellect, or my emotions, all these I dedicate to you. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. If you have nothing nice to say, then why say it? Sound beautiful. I'm glad that you think I sound beautiful. That was Sanskrit. The religion was Hinduism. The language was Sanskrit. Why are you here? Because you think that it is engaging. That is why you are here. Because you engaged. Thank you. The people in the comments are rather awful sometimes, but I have to assume that they are awful because they are in pain. And, you know, hurt people hurt people. The last prayer we're going to say today is Kaddish, the mourner's Kaddish. And the word Kaddish in Hebrew means holy. We're going to say the Kaddish, and then we're going to move on to Discord and have breakfast. And I hope that you will join me over there. I've been really enjoying the breakfast times that I've been having with you all. So we will say Kaddish. And the Kaddish is a prayer of mourning. Prayer of mourning. So we will say Kaddish for all of those people who died yesterday of coronavirus, and for many other people besides. And I'd like to ask those of you who are in mourning, those of you who are holding some pain in your mind, to let us know what that is. What are you grieving? Who deserves our shared attention? You can put their names in the chat or some relevant description. And then we will say Kaddish and remember all of the suffering that has existed on this planet since our lineage began 3.8 billion years ago. 3.8 billion years ago. A little tree started, and it's been growing and growing and growing and growing, and here we are at the tips of the tree, suffering. We will say these words for all those who have suffered, for the last 3.8 billion years, and will continue to suffer for as long as our lineage remains. Yid Gadal, Vid Kadash, Shemei Rabbah. B'yalma divrach yute v'yamlich mal chute. B'chayachon v'yamechon v'chayede kol beit Yisrael. B'galav v'zman kariv v'yimru. Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah me'va'arach le'alam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'shtabach v'yitba'ar v'yirman v'yitnasev. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei d'kudeshav b'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Temiran v'yalma v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shalomai Rabbah min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'chol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. O say shalom v'imramav. Uya ase shalom. Aleinu v'chol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. O say shalom b'imramav. Uya say shalom aleinu v'chol Yisrael v'imru v'imru. Amen. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. It means a great deal. What is a tattoo? This tattoo reminds me that life and death are intertwined, and that for all those that we mourn, there is new life. Ouroboros. So, would you like to have breakfast with me now? I'm going to turn my camera around and switch over to Discord. And if you'd like to continue this conversation, we can continue it over there, over breakfast. Those conversations, they're a lot more intimate. I get a chance to listen to you, and I know that everyone there actually cares about what we're engaging on together. So I invite you to join us. There's a link in my bio, the Discord server. Okay, I'll see you over there. You're going to turn the phone around. There I am in the computer screen. That's what time it is.